Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to be unboxing succulents from The Next Gardener. First and foremost, I want to say a huge thank you to The Next Gardener for collaborating with me and sending me all of these beautiful succulents and succulent supplies. All of these succulents are going to be used in my next video where I create a beautiful succulent planter for my garden. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram at @GayOnABudget. There I will post a lot of photos of this new succulent planter that I'm going to be planting in the next few hours. Before we get into the unboxing, I want to give a brief overview about The Next Gardener. I will link their Instagram here, and I will also link their website in the description below. Their website is full of beautiful succulents, hardy succulents, soft succulents, succulent supplies, soil, pots, you name it, they have it. With my link, The Next Gardener is offering all customers 10% off. Also, do not forget to use code GayOnABudget at checkout. Also, I want to brag on them a little bit. I ordered this box and it came in just a couple of days. They were super prompt and I could not be more happy. So it's time to open it. I already know that these succulents are gonna be gorgeous. I ordered just a few. There were so many succulents to choose from, but I had to narrow it down. It is really packaged. Oh, let me show y'all. Look at all this cotton. The succulents are beautiful. Oh boy, oh gosh. Oh my gosh, it's like Christmas morning. First off, we have a string of dolphins. I have to say, there is so much cotton in this box that every succulent looks very well packaged and just resting very well in this box. There's very little fallout of soil. I mean, it is packaged really well. Let me show you actually what it all looks like. Here, oh my goodness, let me back up a little bit. Look how cute they are. Okay, let me show you all the succulents because they look real good. Okay, here is the string of dolphins. It is pretty darn nice. Look how healthy these leaves look. Beautiful plant. I ordered this one knowing that it would be a trailing succulent out of the planter. One of my favorite YouTubers, Laura Eubanks, says that you always need a spiller, a filler, and a thriller. And I know this string of dolphins is going to be the spiller. Next is, oh my goodness. Next is this lovely rose. So this succulent, I've never had one before, and whenever I saw it on their website, I knew I had to have it. There's a leaf down here that was just absorbed during shipping, which is no big deal. Let me show y'all this plant. Let me push down the soil a tad. Look how cute this rosette is. It is adorable. I might, since it's a little stemmy, a little tall, I actually might just trim off the roots. First, I will inspect the roots and see how nicely rooted this plant is. And if the roots are minimal, I may trim that stalk off a little bit. If the roots look pretty well intact, I might just keep it and then just plant it a little bit lower in the pot. We'll see after we inspect all these plants. The next plant. So I've had one of these before and it sadly died in the Texas heat. This is a snow bunny. Look how adorable that little center rosette is. Those leaves kind of just curl and arch to the center. That is a gorgeous little plant. I know this will be one of the filler plants that I'm gonna put in my arrangement. just that whiteness of this succulent makes it so beautiful. And I know it's going to pop whenever the sunlight gets on this plant. The next plant is another one that I was super excited to receive because I don't have it yet. And it's called a raspberry ice. I know the color isn't there yet. You can tell that it's quite green, but I believe this plant gets kind of pink whenever it's stressing in the sunlight. So I'm super excited to see what this plant's gonna look like whenever it gets enough water and sunlight. I will try to stress it some, but that raspberry ice, if you look up those images online, they are gorgeous. And the rosette really kind of balls up in the center. Maybe that's from like a lack of water or just water retention, but definitely stressing that plant and getting enough sunlight, maybe where it's maybe a little bit too much sunlight, that plant is really going to look beautiful. This next one, yep, it's beautiful. I believe this one is the Mont Blanc. There's so many succulents in here, and I'm going off the list that I ordered from, and I'm terrible at IDing succulents. I know many of my followers message me about what's this succulent's ID, and I always have to sometimes refer to other succulent experts, but I believe this one to be the Mont Blanc. The rosette is gorgeous. It's a pale green, but you can kind of see some of those tips. They're looking a little red, a little pink, maybe purple. But I believe this succulent is just gonna look really pretty whenever it gets a lot of water and a lot of sun. This succulent looks like it was well watered before it got to me, and shipping did not affect it at all. There's no abnormal growth. It's not stretching, and I think it's just gonna really thrive in the sun. I feel like I am just ordering a lot of green succulents, and there's not gonna be a lot of variety in this pot that I'm going to plant soon, but this one is an Echeveria Ice Green. This one just looks so good. I am so surprised that these succulents did not fail in shipping, but like I said, the shipping was so quick, the succulents really didn't even have any time to adjust. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna water these first and foremost. They are a little dry, which is good for shipping. You don't want your box to get really wet, but I think I'm gonna let them cool off for a few days, adjust to the Texas temperatures. I might set them out in the shade, and I will water them pretty well. Okay, now we're getting into some color. I believe this one to be a dark ice. The tips, hold on, I'm gonna see if I can show y'all this view first, where you can see the tips. Look how stinking cute those dark red tips are. And if you look at the rosette, look how dark. It really screams the name of this succulent. The rosette online kind of shows it having a bluish green center with like these super dark tips. Here you can see the blue center with those extremely dark tips, and whenever this succulent is stressing, it's just going to get darker. This succulent is going to add great color to the pot, and I cannot wait to see what the sun does to it, and I can't wait to see what the fall temperatures do to the succulent, because I know with the heat and with the cold, it's really gonna stress very beautifully. This next succulent was something that I was super excited to receive again because I've had one of these before and the Texas heat sadly took it away from me. This is a baby fingers. I think it's so cute. It has the cutest little bloom on it. Look how adorable. The center's green, the tips of the fingers are a pale to dark purple, and I think this succulent is also gonna add really good color to the arrangement that I make. Oh, this is so cute. I believe this succulent is called a Grim One. It is a Graptivaria, and look, it has a pup on the bottom. There's so much cotton on this plant with all the leaves. It's so cute. But this plant is just a green plant with sort of pink tips. I really love that it has that pup on it, so that means I have 2 plants. I believe that this is also going to add some beautiful green color to this pot. But I really don't know much about this plant, so I don't really know how it's going to stress. But I'm super excited to see. For the next succulent, I believe this one is an Echeveria Atlantis. Again, it is just a green succulent that has these super cute pink tips, and also the edges are pink and red and stressed a tad. But look how cute it's going to be. The rosette is perfect. The color is gorgeous. This succulent is going to make a good filler plant in that planter that I make. I just think this Atlantis has the perfect rosette, and it looks like it's going to get even bigger whenever it gets the water that it's craving right now. So I can't wait to see that. The next 2 succulents that I am going to unbox are 2 crassulas. The first one is the Baby's Necklace. This pot is really, really full. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 main plants, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little pups on this plant. So I'm gonna let this plant stand up in the pot that I'm going to be potting. My main goal is to not let this plant spill over and crawl. I kind of want it to stand straight up. I think it'll look the best paired with this crassula. Look how hardy these leaves look. This is just another member of the crassula family. There is a little pup on the side that you can see right here. The leaves are green, but the tips are this very beautiful maroon color. I think this plant's gonna look really good as well. Also, gonna try to not let this one crawl. I think I want it to stand straight up as well. If you have been following me on my Instagram journey for a while, you will know that rare Korean succulents are my favorite, especially an Echeveria Laui. But before I ever got into any type of rare Korean succulent, my true love was a donkey's tail or burro's tail or whatever you want to call it. Every summer or spring, I would always go to Lowe's or Home Depot and stock up on 2 or 3 larger pots of these because I love the look of these spilling out of a pot. And that is exactly where I'm going to put this one. Look how healthy those leaves look. They're plump, they're full. They are just thriving, I think. There's one huge stem that has a little pup, and then there's 3 on the side. I can't believe how full this pot is. These look amazing. So for this next plant, I've actually never had one of these before. This is the Cotyledon pendant. And oh, you can see that it has a bloom that has dried up. These blooms just look like little bells dropping from this plant. All the images that I have seen on Instagram of this plant are, it's usually crawling out of a pot and it's always blooming. I think this succulent looks so cute. It is a pale green, and you can see that the tips are a little bit red, a little bit maroon. All I'm gonna do is just pluck off this bloom and it will just start pushing out more growth. There are some leaves that are drying up that in shipping, but all in all, this plant looks amazing. For the next plant, this one is a little interesting because this one's called a Calico Heart. Look at that purple decoration on those leaves. It looks so hardy and so healthy. But look, as you can see, there was a bloom there and it was snipped off in time and it saved this plant. Whoever was in the nursery that day probably snipped this because they knew that all of the energy in this plant was going to be forced to that bloom, and that's not really that fun whenever you're trying to sell succulents, so you want that succulent to look really nice. all of that energy stayed in this plant. And as you can see, right next to that bloom stem, there are two little plantlets that are going to push out of that stem. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but there are 2 or 3 little buds right on that stem where, because that bloom was snipped, all of that energy is being forced into those small pups. So that is going to look super good. This is going to add a lot of good texture, a lot of good color to this planter. So I'm super excited to see how this one is also going to stress in the sun and with the colder temperatures in the fall. Last but not least, this was probably one of my most anticipated plants that I wanted to arrive here. I've not had much luck growing its more colorful sister, but this is the Cotyledon orbiculata, and it looks so good. I'm gonna lift this up. Look, it is dry, but look at those pups on that stem, and there's also some larger pups right here. I think this plant's gonna look really good. Like I said, I haven't had much luck with its more colorful variegated sister, normally known as unicorn poop, but I know that these plants do not like the Texas heat, so I'm going to add this to the planter, praying and hoping that it stays alive. Just like the other plant, this one had a bloom that was cut off, and I assume that's why this plant is throwing off all of these gorgeous little pups. I'm excited to see if I can keep this one alive, and if I can, I may splurge a little on one of the variegated ones and try again and see if I could keep those alive. I've had maybe 2 of them and they've sadly all died. So, but that's okay. That is just the joy of gardening and planting and learning what succulents work for you and which ones don't. Oh, to show you all of the fallout, here is the box and the cotton. You can see there's some leaves that fell off. I might use those in propagation, but we're shipping plants here and soil falls out. Fallout is normal, and this is not excessive. This is not crazy. I think this is pretty normal, and with this little bit of fallout and how good these plants look, I am very satisfied with the next gardener. The next gardener was also kind enough to send me some of their soil mix. You can see their ingredients right here. I am going to incorporate this mix in the planter that I do plant in the next video. I think this mix is going to be great. It sounds like it's 75% substrate and 25% perlite with low fertilizer. So that is a perfect mix for succulent. For drainage, I might add to this some of this bonsai gritty mix that they also sent me. This feels very rough and very gritty. I think this would add a level of drainage to that soil that would be really good for my succulents. So I am going to try that as well. They also were very gracious to send me some of their Black Galaxy top dressing. I am going to probably be planting all of these succulents in a white planter, so a black top dressing will really make these beautiful succulents pop. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to add a link in the description box below where you can shop all of these succulents. I encourage you to shop these succulents. If you are looking for succulents for your garden, these were great, and I am very, very happy with them. With that link, just click it and go shop, and also make sure to use code GayOnABudget at checkout for 10% off your order. If you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You won't want to miss the planter that I plant all of these succulents in, and you also can check out all my other videos that I have already posted in the past. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at GayOnABudget. There I post a lot of photos of random succulents that I have in my garden that you won't want to miss, ranging from fun ones like these to rare Korean succulents full of powder. They are so beautiful and I can't get enough, and I hope you all love them. With that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I especially really enjoy unboxing videos and seeing what all succulent sellers around the country have to offer. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. That really does help me out a lot. I hope to see you all in the next video where I get to plant all of these beautiful succulents. Bye!